Cathy Zapsalis.
Hi,
How to
everybody.
pick a tarot card.
Okay. So, my name's Cathy. Thanks for coming. I hope you're going to have a good time today because we got a lot of good speakers, got a lot of good readers, a lot of healers and everything, so we're going to have a great time. So, have you ever thought of learning to read the tarot? What deck should I pick? That's the first thing you have to do. You have to figure out what kind of deck you want. There are hundreds of tarot decks now, and they can be so overwhelming to choose one. And they're so similar, but they're so different. It's amazing. They have a different style, symbolism, and generally the feelings in the readings are different. You could be drawn to the work of a deck through the artwork or the symbolization of them. Sometimes just the modern lines of the deck, how they look. Decks come with themes. There are angels, there are oracle decks, there are dragons and vampires and cats. Oh my. But there are a lot of different decks that you can pick. Finding the deck, you need to find a deck that speaks to you when you're first learning tarot. You need to find something that talks to you. It's okay if someone gifts you a deck, but they may not gift you the deck that you want. So I always say go out and buy a deck. Look at the different decks and see which ones you like. You got to feel the deck. A lot of bookstores don't have open decks, but a lot of the metaphysical stores have decks that are open, that you can kind of feel them, you can kind of look at them, you can kind of see what feels good to you, see what not feels good to you, and you can choose the deck that way. And sometimes that's how it's done. When I chose my deck, I didn't go to a metaphysical store. I went to Books A Million. They're endless. There's so many different decks. It's like amazing. You know, you go through, you shift through all the decks, you kind of find the perfect one that's for you. When I chose my deck, I went, like I said, to Books A Million. I had 5 decks in my cart that I liked. Now, I couldn't pick all of them. I knew that. But what I did was I looked at the back of them and I felt them in my hands and felt which ones were comfortable to me. The ones that I picked were John Holland's Psychic Tarot deck. And partly because when I looked at the back of the deck, the colors were very beautiful, but they also had the chakra cards. So to me, I wanted to learn the chakras back then. So I chose that deck. And that's the deck that I use now, and I love it. Then someone introduced me to a deck called Thelema. She showed me the deck and I went, oh my God. The colors were so vibrant, so beautiful. So I got that deck too. I have so many decks at home that I can't stand, but there's certain ones I use. Don't be afraid to buy your own deck. Just be comfortable with what you buy. You know, like I said earlier, some people believe that, you know, I'll gift you a deck, and that's the only deck you should use. But what if that deck doesn't resonate with you? What if you look at that deck and say, you know what, I really can't read this deck. Go out and find one that you like. Now, it doesn't mean that if they gift you a deck, that you don't try using them. And if you like them, use them. That's not a problem. Do the research. Do the research of the decks. Go whether online or to a metaphysical store and learn about the decks. Read the little books. The little books are very, very handy that come in the decks. They don't give a lot of information, so you may have to find another book that will complement your deck. But always read the little books, because they give you the little tidbits. When you get a bigger book, when you get another book, then they give you more information. So that's what, you know, that's always good. Embrace it. have fun choosing the decks. Have a ball. Because it was so much fun when I chose my first deck. It was like, oh my God, I gotta get a deck because I'm gonna learn tarot. And I was so excited. The decks are different. Oracle decks have less cards. A Rider-Waite deck, which is a traditional deck, has 78 cards. Oracle decks can come from 36 to 46, 48 in the deck. It just depends on how the person wrote them up. Lenormand cards, those only have 36 cards in them. But Lenormands are good, but you have to find someone that knows how to teach Lenormand to you because they can be kind of challenging. I do have a Lenormand deck. I don't use it often. Once in a blue moon I do use it, but I don't use it that often. But find out what decks you want, whether it's a Rider-Waite deck, which is the traditional, or a Oracle deck. Oracle decks sometimes are easier to get your intuition kicked into gear. So choose the best deck that you feel is best for you. And if that deck doesn't work, then you can find another one. You know, I'm sure all these readers have a ton of different decks that they use. They have their favorites and they use those. When you find a deck, explore the imagery. Look at the deck, look at the card, and ask the card, what does this mean to me? How can I interpret this card? Write it down. Then go to the book and see what, if you wrote down what the book said. You may not have that. You may find that what you thought was totally different from what the book said. But it's always a good thing to kind of know. Decide, you know, when you choose decide what you want, traditional or modern, a modern deck. Like I said, traditional is the Rider-Waites. I look at the modern decks as the Oracle decks, because they came later. When I first started learning tarot, Rider-Waite was the only decks that I could find. And I had nobody to teach me. But, and I put it away. I tried and I just couldn't do it. But I was really young at that time and I was like, you know what, maybe it's just not for me right now. But after a while, when I decided to get back into metaphysical, I was able to find a deck and I was able to read it. And I've been reading ever since, and it's been 10 years that I've been reading. Also, the one other thing is, a lot of the Oracle decks are larger than the regular decks. So find the deck that will fit in your hand comfortably. You know, because the Oracle decks are about like this. The regular Rider-Waites are like this, wide. So you want to find one that fits comfortably in your hand. And they're out there. But if you want an Oracle deck and you feel that that's what you want to learn from, don't go with the smaller deck. Go with what you feel is the best. Think about what kind of readings you want to do. Do you want to find peace and calm in your life? Or help someone find peace and calm in their life? Or just go with whatever is happening? Check the quality of the deck. The deck, some are very flimsy. They bend very easily. Some of a little thicker stock. It's a little bit harder to shuffle, but they hold up longer than the other decks. So you want to kind of like look at that and see what's out there. Some just want to do personal readings for themselves. Others want to do readings like I do for you guys. I love doing readings for you guys. It's a lot of fun, and I'm pretty good with what I get. A lot of readers sometimes, oh no, I don't want you touching my deck. I let them touch them. I said, shuffle them, cut them, do whatever you have to do with them, just don't destroy them. But yeah, you want to, almost. So you want to see what cards you want, but and let them choose the cards. I have them cut them in 3 piles. I spread them out, and I have them choose the cards. So their energy is in the cards, and they're picking the cards. It's amazing how when you guys pick the cards, you come up with the right cards that you need for that time. Now, a lot of people don't want to understand them. They don't want to hear what you're saying. But know that I have my guides talking to me, and they're telling me these things. So you're picking the cards. I'm not. If I was picking the cards, then I would say, okay, you're kind of like, I'm not too sure what she's doing the right thing, but you guys are picking them when I do this. And that's the most important thing. Any questions? No? Okay. So what do we got? We got 5 more minutes? Okay. So a lot of times, too, is with the cards, you may find that it's the artwork. Yes, ma'am.
Does color make a play? I'm sorry, I came in late, but I'll discuss.
Color, it depends on what cards you want. If you look at the cards, color does make a play in it. If they're vibrant, if they're very colorful, it could be something that you are drawn to. But a lot of times it is the artwork that people are drawn to. The Thelema cards that I have, I use the John Holland Oracle deck, but I also have a deck of Thelema cards. I chose them for the colors. It's a regular Rider-Waite deck, but I chose them for the vibrant colors in them, which is really good. Pick the cards you want. Find 4 decks and kind of go through them and figure out which one you like the best. Remember why you're drawn to tarot. Why do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? And think about what the tarot deck, what might suit you for that tarot deck. Think about what it is that drew you to that deck in that first place. Did you find yourself having a professional card reading that drew you into the practice? Maybe. Did you find the cards that the reader used inspiring? You could ask them which cards they are, and you could use those same cards to help you. Think about what deck you want. That's the most important thing with tarot cards. They have to mean something to you guys. They have to mean something to you. If they don't mean something to you, then you're not going to get the messages. And the messages are the most important part, especially for you and for others if you decide to do readings. When it really comes down to it, you must feel the call of the cards. Must feel the cards, feel the calling of them. Choose what kind of deck you want. You can start with something simple first. You don't have to start with anything elaborate. Use your intuition. Your intuition will help you choose the cards. If a card is right for you, it will tell you, yes, you need to get these cards. So I'm in the reader's room. I'm downstairs in the transformation room. Please come and see me. I'd be happy to do a reading for you. We have a lot of good readers here, and they're having a wonderful time. And I'm excited to be here. I love coming to these fairs. They're so much fun, and you meet so many people that are like-minded, and you get a lot of knowledge out of them. Okay? So, thank you.